I was asked a while ago, how would I classify a narcissist on the scale of awareness? And I said, well, on a scale of awareness, a narcissist would be nothing else but a virus. Because similar to a virus, they're also dead on the inside, just like science calls viruses dead, which kind of makes me giggle. But, well, narcissists feel very dead on the inside. They need to constantly invent stuff and hyperly make use of their mind to keep themselves distracted from the nothingness that they are. Why are they a virus? Because in the end, the virus is kind of the first form of life that you have seen on this planet. And, well, in general, it's kind of the first form of unconscious life that will be at a biological level. Well, there's virions that are smaller than a virus, but, well, still nothing else but a virus. A small molecule of RNA, and, well, there's a capsid, I think it's called that, which is a protective layer. Yes? And that little thing knows exactly where to go, how to infiltrate any kind of cell that they infiltrate, where exactly to go, what they find, where to find it, and how to change the RNA strands of their hosts so that they instead, on reproduction, they make more individuals, like virus individuals, instead of reproducing themselves. All that wisdom is within those little ones, yes? Those little ones know that much, even if there's, they're nothing else but a little bit of, like a little molecule, yes? They're even 1 million times smaller than a human cell, but they still know where exactly to go, how to do their own things. Narcissists are similar to that. They will infiltrate any system, typically your mind system. They will find means to hook you up and, well, any kind of reason to make you simply be obsessed with them, whether through love bombing at the beginning or by pissing you off constantly so that you keep thinking about them. When you think about someone, you're sending them literally that energy, more or less. And someone who's that vague, that empty on the inside, obviously will feel that. It's their way of vampirizing people from the emotions that they put out. To them, it's like a nectar, right? They're, in a way, the opposite of vampires. Vampires come up close to you and they bite you and they drink your blood. They do their thing, for them, it's like remote drinking of that energy. Yes, because they're making you think about them and, they're going to frustrate you and piss you off and this and that. Yes, because so long as they have a grasp over you, they're good and you're going to feel dead, just like them. Yes, they are nothing else but a form of life that seeks to impose its own on the others. Sometimes they do it hyperly aggressively, sometimes they do it less aggressive, but similar to that, a virus also functions like that. Yes, a virus enters a system and it doesn't want to destroy the system. It just wants to breed, it just wants to exist, and, well, that's what it wants. At times it can do it aggressively and, well, it may end up killing the host because there are a lot of viruses within us and there are a lot of bacteria within us. But our organism is keeping them in check so long as our organism is healthy. Yes, just like you should keep your mind healthy. Yes, by being more mindful of the thoughts and information that you put in your head. If you're not mindful, you're opening yourself up to such kinds of abuses where people can put certain thoughts within your mind so that they can end up controlling you by giving you the impression that you have full control over your life. Yes, that is a narcissistic tactic to control you. Now, what people have to understand is that narcissists don't read books necessarily on how to manipulate you. Yes, because they can focus so much on what they have to do, what they do best. Yes, because they have a certain awareness and they're only gonna focus on that. Yes, their only function is to cheat, to exploit. Actually, not necessarily cheat, to exploit. That will include cheating, lying, deceiving, whatever way you want to call it. And since they think thoroughly on that, they will unconsciously have access to all the tools needed. Just like any animal predator doesn't read a book on how to do their fucking thing. Yes, they will always know their prey by heart, how to hunt it, what are their vulnerabilities, what are their blind spots, and what exactly to eat out of those targets. Yes, that is also a different point. Yes, so not everything about this life is about reading books and other people's points of view, which in most cases it can get disgusting because a lot of people, especially nowadays, they write books, but it's just the same idea and it's a lot of beating around the bush, which I kind of don't like as it feels like wasting my time and my money. But when you have some intuitive openings and you get some answers, without necessarily reading the books, well, that is very weird for people. But it can happen in many cases that they ask me stuff and somehow I get the answers. Yes. Don't look at me as if I know everything, okay? I just seem to know a few things, right? And the simple point about that is exactly what you need to learn about, first and foremost, about a narcissist. Yes, there is literally no awareness within them. Yes, no consciousness in there. There is just a slave of compulsions and of the lowest compulsions ever, which is consume, destroy, and adjust. Yes, adjust to own functions just like a virus does. Yes, it changes the RNA sequence so that the respective being reproduces the virus instead of themselves. And the narcissists do the same thing. They alter your mind so that you think only about them. Yes, it's the same thing. It's just the virus doesn't need the validation. A narcissist does, because at that level, they also have emotions and emotional needs like any social being. Yes, a virus does not have emotions. It does not need the such regardless. So now, hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness about this. I'm not interested in expanding it because the question was simple. Where to classify them and what exactly are they? Well, imagine someone who has dwindled themselves so much that literally they are almost a black hole. Imagine a huge supernova like any other human, and they are compressed so much until they actually have collapsed within their own core. Yes, and then nothing is, they're just literally nothing. If you've never seen a narcissist drop their mask and you see like there's nothing in there, it feels like there's no brain in that skull, there's no soul in that being, right? Like, definitely they have a brain, obviously, but it feels like you can see the back of their skull through their eyes. That's literally nothingness in there. For most people, it's daunting. For me, it was not, but for most people, it's daunting because everyone expects everyone else to be alive. No, a narcissist has been so traumatized, they dimmed themselves so much that the only thing that they can feel is the ultimate survival. Expand and exterminate. Yes, adjust everything as a tool for their own survival, and that includes deceiving, making use of everything that you have as sacred, obviously, making you feel that everything that you have different from them is something shameful, it's something problematic, it's something that you should feel guilty about, and your whole life is supposed to exist only to please the respective narcissists. And then that's how you got Zionism, communism, and things like that born. Yes, those are born out of no ingenious spark. They are born out of the apex of narcissism. Yes, nobody needs to read books about that. Just become the lowest level narcissist possible, and that's the only way you can ever think about. Hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You are appreciated. Take care. Enjoy life. And this being said, Ferenc Board signing out.